Alright guys, let's move on to the final functionality of our project, which is this search field. So let's go back to our code and let me close this footer because currently the footer functionality is done. And let me go to components, forms, and let me go to search input form. Alright, yeah, and this form is basically this form right here. First, let's just bind this input field with our state. So let me add a use state over here. Okay, and let's just create a state here with the name of search field, right? And let's just say set search field equals to use state, and initially let's just add it like empty string as a value. And here in this input field, let's add a value of search field, and let's also add an on change event that fires every time a change takes place in the input field. So like every time you hit any key, this event is going to take place. And in this event, I'm going to add a function that's going to say handle change, and let's initialize this function. So const handle change is equals to, and we are going to get an event object because it's getting fired from an event handler. So we're going to get this event, and here basically what I'm going to do is set the search field to e dot target dot value. Okay, you can also console log this and check what we get. So console dot log e dot target dot value. All right, so let's see what happens. Let's just go back to our browser and inspect this page. Let me go to the console, and every time I add anything here, like we are going to get a value over here. So this is kind of like a two-way binding that is done in React. You bind the input fields with the React state so that you can get the value from the input field, because we need this value in order to search the books. Okay, and now when we click on this search button, what you want to do is you want to redirect the user to our search page. All right, now we haven't created the search page, so we're gonna create it now. So let's open up our app.js file, and let's create a path below this login, or you know what, I'm going to create it below this cart route. And here I'm going to add a path of search, right? And in our component, I'm going to add search page. Now I haven't created this page, so let me create that inside our pages folder. Let me create a new folder that says search page, right? And inside this search page, let's add a new file that's going to say search page.js. Let's just save that. And here basically let me create a simple component. All right, so we have created this simple component which is search page. Now here first let me add the headers and the footers. So I'm going to import header import, I think it's navbar from navbar, and you can see that React already like locates it. And we're also going to import footer. All right, and let me currently add both the navbars and the footers. So navbar and footer, there you go. Let's just save this, and let's go to our search page. I think we also need to import it in our app. Yeah, so let's import the search page component inside our app.js. So import search page right here. Let's just save this. And now if you like click on, no, not click on the search, but let me actually go to search page, right? There you go, you have this navbar and the footer, because that's the only thing that we have added in our search page. Between this navbar and the footer, I want to have a div, right? And inside this div, let's just add a class name of search result container. And inside this I want to have a generic container, so let's add a div of class name of container, because again of the padding left and right we need this generic container. We have globally styled this container, and inside this container let me add an h2 tag, right, that says your search results, search result, something like this, and let's see what we get. Okay, now we are getting this search result, but it's actually at the top and not in between the navbar and the footer. And I think the reason why is because we haven't added a prop of dark theme here. So let's add a dark theme prop, and let's set that to true. Let's save this, and now I think we should get, yeah, the text between the navbar and the footer. Let me also add like paddings and bottoms. We need to add some stylings as well over here. Let me add another file in our search page, and let's name that file search page.styles.css. All right, and let's import it over here. So import /search page.styles.css. Let's just save that, and here let me like target this search result container. So let's just add a dot and then search result container, and here let's add a padding top and bottom. Let's add the padding of 5 rem on top and bottom, and for the left and right I just want 0, because for the left and right we do have the container. All right, this should work. And let me go back to the home page. Now what I want to do is, whenever I add anything over here and whenever I click on the search like button, I want to be redirected to the search page. All right, so let's do that. Let's go to our search input form. So we have this button of search over here, which is basically this button. So I'm going to add an on click event over here. So on click equals to redirect to search, something like this. So let's create this function over here. I'm gonna say const redirect to search is equals to, and here we need to redirect the user to the search page. So for that we need the help of the use navigate hook that comes from React Router DOM. So let's import use navigate right from React Router DOM, and let's just initialize this hook. So I'm gonna say const navigate is equals to use navigate, right? And now let's use this navigate in order to navigate the user. So navigate the user to our search page, right? And along with that I also want to send the search field, okay, because once we get to the once we like get redirected to the search field, we also want to show the search results, and in order to show the search result we need to get whatever like search query we have added over here. All right, so the way we do that in this navigate, with the help of this navigate function, is by adding another parameter, which is basically going to be an object, and inside this object I'm going to have a value of, I'm going to have a property of state, and the value of the state should be our search field. So search field. All right. So let's just save this, and let's try this out. So if I add anything over here, for now, if I click on the search, we should get redirected to the search field, search page. Okay, so the first part is done. The second part is that in our search page, we also need to get that value that we have sent from the input field, the search input field, right? So let's go to our search page. Now in order to get that value, we need the help of use location hook that also comes from React Router DOM. So I'm going to import use location hook. So use location from React Router DOM. All right, and let's initialize this hook. So I'm going to say const location is equals to use location, right? And let's just console log and see what this location has currently. So console.log, I'm gonna say location. All right, let's just leave it that as it is, and let's just save this. Let's go back to our browser, and here you can see that we have the path name, but in this state property we also have this value which we had currently passed from the input field. All right, let me try this out once more and see. So if I add, let's say Harry, let me also go to search input form and remove this console log because we don't need it now. All right, so let's add a genuine book name, let's say Harry Potter, right? And let's just hit the search button, and there you go guys, we are getting the Harry Potter as the state value because we have passed it from here. Okay, so whatever you pass in this state property, it's going to, we are going to get, you can get it with the help of the use location property in this search page. So now we are being able to pass the data while redirecting. All right, so now since we are being able to receive the data over here, we are going to use this data in order to create the search functionality. Now there are lots of ways of creating the search functionality, but I'm just going to create the simple one. So basically what I'm going to do is, since our book data.js is going to have the entire collection of books for now, I'm going to loop through this entire data and check like if our search value is present in the book name field, right? So if the search value is present, then I'm going to show that current book. Okay, so for that, now since we have the value in like location.state, right? What we need to do is we need to create a use effect over here. So let me call the use effect hook. So use effect. All right, so use effect, and in our dependency array I'm going to leave it as it is because they should run only once when we visit the search page. All right, and here what I'm going to do is I'm just going to console.log location.state for now. All right, and let's check if we get this in our console or not. So if I go to home, let's refresh the page. Let's add something like the alchemist. Let's hit the search field, and you're getting this value over here, which means that this use effect is working. So now instead of this console logging location.state, I want to create the actual search functionality over here. So for that, let me import this book data as well. So I'm going to import it over here, saying import book data from util slash book data. So in order to create the search functionality, I am going to use the array filter method. Okay, so first I'm going to create a variable called, so first I'm going to create a variable saying let search value, and I'm going to set it to array. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set this search value to book data dot filter, right? And for each data, what I'm going to do is I'm going to filter out those data book name includes our search value, which is location dot state, and let's just console dot log search value, and let's see if this works or not. So if I go to home and if I say Harry Potter, and if I click on the search field, all right guys, now you can see that we are getting these 7 arrays, and they are all of them are basically this Harry Potter because we have added the same string in our search field. All right, so basically with filter method, what I'm doing is I'm looping through all the data, all the book data, and I'm filtering out those data whose book name like includes whatever we have passed from the input field. Now let's also make this search functionality more functional by not setting the case sensitivity, because currently if I go to my home and if I say alchemist and if I search, we won't get anything, although we have a book called The Alchemist, right? We won't get anything, and that's because I have searched the search value that I had. It had the A in small letter, but in our book name the A is in capital letter. So due to this case sensitivity, we are not being able to get the search result. So in order to make this search more functional, we don't want to have this case sensitivity, right? So what we're going to do is whenever we are filtering out this data, we are going to set the book name and the our search value to lowercase. Here after this book name, let's add dot to lowercase function. Now this is basically now this is basic JavaScript, right? And let's also add it here. So dot to lowercase, and let's just save this. Now if you go back and if you refresh this page, and you can also search from here, it's the same component. So if I say alchemist, now since now we have this like A in small, but still we are going to get the data. If I hit on search, you can see that we have got a data which is this alchemist book, and there you go guys, we have created this search functionality while ignoring the case sensitivity, making it a little bit functional and searchable as well. And for the search result card, I'm going to create the same card that I had created in our cart section. The only thing will be like I won't be, instead of this remove from cart, I will be having like view cart details or something like that. So to do that, I think I have created this component in our, let's see, I think it's inside cards, cart item. Yeah, I think it's cart item card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new folder inside cards, and this time it's going to be search result card, right? And inside this I'm going to have a new file that says search result card.js. I think I spelled it wrong. I added a comma. Okay, let's just, yeah, I added a comma. Rename this to dot, and let me also add a new file with search result card dot styles dot css, right? And in our search result card, let me copy the same component that we had in our cart item card. So yeah, let me copy this and paste it in our search result card. And let's do the same thing for the styling as well. Copy this and paste it here, right? And let's just save this. And in our search result card, uh, instead of locating cart item card dot styles dot css, I'm going to say search result card dot styles dot css, something like this, okay, to target this search result. And instead of this cart item card, let's remove this and type search result card, okay. And let's add the same thing here. So search result card, and yeah, I think we need to remove this button, and let's remove this handle remove as well. And I don't think we need the cart context as well, so let's remove that. Let's remove the cart context from here as well. All right, this should do. Let's just save this, and in our search page, let's import this search result card. So I'm gonna import. So what I did was just I copied everything that I had created in our cart item card, and I just copied the JavaScript from here to our search result card, because as far as the styling is concerned, I'm going to have the same kind of like the same stylings that we had with the cart item card. So I'm going to import search result card, and since we have also got the search value, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a state. So use state, and then I'm going to create a state here. So const search result set search result, and I'm going to set that to use state, and by default I'm just going to add an empty array. And here, instead of console logging the search value, I'm going to set the search result to search value. So search value. All right, so basically what I'm doing is I'm creating a state with the name of search result, and in our use effect, once we like get the search value, I'm adding this search value inside our state, okay, so that now once we get this search result, we can actually loop through it and show our search result card. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up our curly braces, and I'm going to say search result dot map, and for each result I am going to return a component which is going to be a search result card. So inside this I'm going to say search result card, and here I need to send a prop, because search result card is going to get like expect a prop of book data. So here I'm going to send book data, and inside this book data I'm going to add a value of result, okay, because this result is going to, so basically this result is actually going to be our book data, each object, the object of that book data, and basically that is what I'm passing here, so that we can display the details here. Okay, let's just save this and see if this works or not. If I refresh the page, if I go to home, let's just search for Harry Potter again. Alright guys, we are getting the search result right here. All 7 of the books, I think. Yeah. So the search functionality is done and we are getting its result. The only thing here is that I don't want to show the pricing, but I do want to show that button. So let me go back to the search page and let's go to search result card. Let's remove the pricing, but let's add a button, or I think we should add a link. Yeah, I think we should have a link. So let's add a link component, and which we can import from React Router DOM. Let's add a link component from React Router DOM, and inside this link component let's add product details, right? And let's add a prop of 2, and I'm going to use a template string over here because we need to specify the ID here as well. And I'm going to go to slash book details slash, and then I'm going to open up the dollar and curly braces because here I'm going to pass book data dot id. All right, and I'm also going to add a class name here. So class name of primary button, so primary, I think it should be primary button. Okay, it should be button primary. So button primary. All right, let's just save this. Again, button primary is a global class that we have, okay, for the orange colored button, and I want the same button, so I've just added the same class. So if I save this and go over here, I don't think the class is working. Maybe because I added an underscore, I just have to add a hyphen. Let's just save that. All right, now I'm getting the button here, and if I click on this button, I'll be redirected to the book details page of that particular book, which is the functionality that I currently want. So yeah guys, we are now able to display our search results as well. If I go back, if I search for alchemist, yeah, this is working. If I search for jungle book, okay, cool. All right guys, now the search functionality is also done. One thing I need to resolve is that I haven't added a key. So let's go back again and let's go to search page and let's add a key here. So let's add a key and let's set it to result.id. Let's just save that, and now if I refresh the page, the warning should be gone. Okay, so let's check our application final time one more time. So if I go to home page, we have this page over here. If I go to books page, we have the books page here, which is cool. We can search through books by giving a particular query, and we get the search result as well. We can go to product details, and you can see that every time I go to product details, we are not starting from the bottom, we're starting from the top. We can add the book. Okay, let's go back, let's go to our books page and let's add the book from here. This is also done. Now let's go to our checkout page, cart page. You can see that you have 2 books over here. Let's remove this from the cart. Let's also remove this from the cart. You can see the amount is also changing. If I remove this again, you get currently your cart is empty, which is cool. Let's go to our, let's log out of this page. You can see that we are getting the login and the sign up. So let's go to login and let's log in again. You can see that we are now being logged into the site. And one thing I found out is that if you search the book without adding anything here, the page is going to get crashed. And if you console log this page, we're going to get a type error saying cannot read properties of null. So in order to resolve this, what I'm going to do is go back to our search input form, and here in the redirect to search function, instead of directly adding a navigate over here, I'm going to set a condition, and I'm going to check if search field, right, is equal to empty string. If that's the case, that I'm going to alert saying search field is empty, something like this, right? And else what I'm going to do is, if the search field is not empty, then I'm going to navigate to the search page. All right, if I save this, go back, and now if I click on the search button, it's saying search field is empty. Okay, so this is the functionality that we want. And if I add any search input, we will be redirected to our search page. Okay, so that issue is resolved. We have also added the functionality to submit the email as well. And yeah, I think this is it, guys. So yeah, with that search functionality being done, I think we have completed our project. So the final thing what I want to do is deploy this live. So for that, let me go to my terminal, and let's create the build folder for this. So I'm going to say npm run build command. All right, and let's just hit enter. This is going to create our build folder for this project, which we are going to use to deploy it to Netlify. All right, so the build is complete. Now you can see that in our project folder, we also have a folder named build. Now in order to deploy it to Netlify, I'm just going to show you the most easiest step there is. So let's just go to Netlify, and if you don't have an account, you can create an account here, but I'm just going to log in since I already have an account. And basically I'm gonna go to my sites, and here what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply right click on this build folder, and I'm going to reveal in file explorer, and I'm going to simply copy this build folder and drag and drop it over here. And there you go, guys. Just by dragging and dropping that build file, our site is published to Netlify. So if I click on this link, you can see that our site is live and on. So I think we are done with the entire functionality, guys. So it was a really long project, although the functionality was very simple, but still we managed to create a fully fledged, not, I won't say it's a very complicated one, but still it's much bigger than a normal to do application or a small application. So we have created an intermediate project by adding all these functionalities. So enough of this talk. I hope you guys like this project and like this series. I think this is the end for this series. It was kind of fun building this project, and we learned a lot from it, a lot of basic, which touched on a lot of basic and important fundamentals on React, and also like um, pushed ourselves to learn more complicated things like context API and and using different services like email.js and Stripe in order to work with our project, right? So yeah, we did learn a lot of things, and I think this is it for the video and the project, guys. I hope you liked this series and this video. Please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. That would really help me a lot and really motivate me in order to create more videos like this. And I'll see you guys next time.